Are you a newcomer here in Canada and in the process of job hunting? Hey, yeah, my name is Kimmy. My family and I moved here in Canada as permanent residents last December of 2022. It was through the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, or the SINP, and Express Entry. We have been living here in Saskatoon as immigrants for about 16 months as of this May 2024, or as of filming this video. We do not have any job offer or any employment waiting for us when we got here. It is just when we settled in, when we both started job hunting. And of course, with job hunting, both me and my husband had our own struggles on finding a job. Anyway, with this video, I just want to share with you some maybe out of the usual tips from our job hunting experience to hopefully be helpful for you and to encourage you to be confident and persistent on finding a job that you like. So the first tip that I want to share with you is number one, avoid submitting a standard or generic resume. You must always tailor fit your resume to your job application. Aside from preparing your resume in a Canadian format, you should be updating your resume for each of the positions that you will be applying for. Always remember also to keep your resume short, simple, and straight to the point. Some companies actually use AI or filtering tools on sorting out resumes. They search and pick keywords on your skills and experience based on the job description of the position that you were applying for. I actually got this tip or this information from an employment consultant at SODS or the Saskatoon Open Door Society. They are the ones who cater or provide assistance for newcomers for various things. Anyway, so it's not enough that you prepare one of the best resumes and send it to all, or use just one generic resume and then send to all. You must always really update your resume for each of the positions that you will be applying for. For example, or let's take this job posting as an example. I would like to apply for this administrative assistant position posted on Indeed.com. I should thoroughly read the description, the duties and responsibilities, and the qualifications for this job. First thing to do is to check if I qualify. Review the job description and then the duties and responsibilities, and then ask yourself or ask myself, what are the areas that I am good at? Which of my strengths or skills match the list? Pick those out and, in your own words, list them down onto your resume. Second tip, if you can, target for the best to least. What do I mean by this? You should look out for the best employment option that you can find and apply for it. What I mean basically is to put the most effort or submit your application first to your desired job or preferred job. It could also be that your best is one that is related to your work experience, and then the least would be the jobs that you don't have any experience but you are qualified to apply for. It could also be the best would be a full-time job and the least would be a part-time job. It is very common for most of the newcomers who arrive here in Canada without any employment or job offer. They would grab the first opportunity offered to them. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that one. But usually the easiest job to fill will be a minimum paying job, or sometimes it could also be just a part-time job. If this is your only option though, by all means, go ahead. But if you can, just try to find a higher paying job as soon as you can, or find a job that you would really like. Now, why do I say this? We all have different circumstances and preferences, but the fact does not change that inflation is real. The cost of living here in Canada is high. I know this would be the same for the rest of the world, but this is the reality of the world that we are living in now. Here in Canada, it is very true that if you're living on a minimum pay grade, that won't be enough. And I think that is one of the top reasons why immigrants leave Canada and head back home, because of the cost of living here. Anyway, I think the bottom line here is to always be open or be on the lookout for better opportunities. Another thing to consider is it's already hard adjusting to live in another country or moving to another country. And it will be harder if you're not happy with the work that you have. You know, the feeling of dragging yourself to work just because you need to survive. And yeah, that will be a big struggle. At this point, just be confident with yourself that you will be able to qualify for a job that you want or for a job that would be paying you above the minimum pay grade. And with that being said, my last and third tip is related to that. And that is, do not be discouraged to submit your resume to the job that you like. If you believe that you are qualified for the position that you are applying for, just submit your resume. You'll never know which company will consider you. Most common misconceptions for newcomers is the thought of, I wouldn't be hired because I do not have the Canadian education or experience. While it is true that for some companies, having a Canadian educational background is an advantage for applicants, but you would never know which companies would be taking chance on you. If you have presented yourself well on your resume, if your credentials would fit what they were looking for, and your work experience fits what they need, then you might just have a shot to be invited for an interview. As they always say, there's no harm in trying. If you make it, then great. If you don't, then at least you tried. And it would be great for your experience as well. And just maybe, right? They would consider you for something else in the future. If you won't try, you wouldn't know. This is actually something that has happened to my husband. He applied for 2 companies. He had been interviewed, but he wasn't picked, unfortunately. But he was called for a second interview because he has been considered for a different but somehow a similar position. And now he is actually working for one of those companies. If you just believe that you are qualified, or if you believe that you are qualified, just submit your resume and try to apply. Also, try to submit your resume through different submission channels. What do I mean by this one? Most used job search channels are Indeed, LinkedIn, job fairs, or any other job search engine or online sites. While we do our job search on these platforms, do not forget that there are other more options. If you want to be specifically employed by a certain company, I'll have Nutrien as an example. If you go on their website, then you go to careers, you will be able to search for any job posting that will match your credentials, and then you can go from there. While you are on the website as well, you might want to check Contact Us, where you can have a channel to communicate with the company. There would be email addresses, or there would be a communication channel there that you can utilize. And if ever there's an email address where the human resource said posted somewhere in their website, send your resume through that email. And of course, do not forget to write a good letter of intent or a cover letter with your resume if you do that one. And if there is a send a message page, sometimes they have an option to attach a document. Use that to send your resume. I personally did this, and I got hired within 1 week after sending in my resume to that company. I'm not saying that these 2 options will 100% work, but you will never know. If they disregard your email or your message, then at least you tried. If you get the chance, or if they notice your application, then that's awesome, right? To summarize everything, here are the 3 tips. First, tailor fit your resume to the job that you are applying for. Don't use generic resumes. Make it personalized. Make it specific to the job that you are applying for. Second, target the best job opportunity that you like to the least. Put your most effort to the job that you most prefer, then going to the least. Third and last tip is to be confident with yourself, and to not be discouraged to submit your application to the job that you really want. And that's it. I hope you find this helpful, and if you are in the process of looking for a job, I pray that you'd be blessed very soon with a job that you like and a job where you will be thriving. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel as I share more of our life as immigrants here in Canada. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!